All right, this is the next episode of True Wrestling Fans Discussions, continuing our Saturday Night's Main Event review series. It's going to be Saturday Night's Main Event 25. I'm your host, Mike.
I'm Frank. Man, let's jump right into this one. This was a pretty good event. It had a great card, and towards the end of this, they'll even advertise for the next main event, number three,
Mm-hmm.
which I love the what they advertise is not what we got. We'll get to that
Right,
later.
unfortunately. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. And I also love how they did this before the Rumble, but then they were able to patch in the Rumble results during this.
Yeah, they
So
filmed it
it's
before.
So
Yeah.
the Hogan Warrior thing was going on, but even before it went on. So
Yeah.
that I thought that was cool. January 3rd, 1990 was when they did this live in Chattanooga, Tennessee. They aired it January 27th of 1990, past the Royal Rumble.
It was probably like
So
what, but I guess like a week after, more or less, 6 days
yeah.
after, I think, right?
hmm
Yeah.
So we're well on the way to the road to WrestleMania with the Hogan Ultimate Warrior.
Mm-hmm.
So our opening match was actually pretty good. This was actually for the crown, which didn't get defended a whole lot in WWE. It was the Macho King Randy Savage defending it against the
Mm-hmm.
former King Hacksaw Jim Duggan, who claimed his crown was stolen. And they
Right.
showed
Mm-hmm.
how Savage won it on the 23rd of September.
Yeah.
How he won it, but Duggan kept saying that the crown was stolen from him and he wanted it back.
Yeah, I like the promo that Macho Man cut when he was calling the people peasants. That was really good stuff. That was funny.
Jesse looked like he just woke up with the tank
Mm-hmm.
top and he didn't really like put a whole lot of effort into this one. But again, he's unfortunately a few more of these, and it's no more for Jesse, unfortunately. But Jesse and Vince McMahon once again doing the commentating on this one, and this match was actually pretty good. The fans were into it. This was a good feud, but again, this is what I've been talking about for the end of '89 to '90. You've got a whole bunch of feuds going on. You've got Savage, technically now just started a feud with Dusty. He's still got the feud going with Duggan with this.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't finalized the feud with Hogan yet.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just a whole lot of chaos during this. And unfortunately, this feud was what I call a house show feud.
Yeah, pretty much.
It didn't culminate into a pay per view like
Yeah.
Hogan and Perfect were. They were just a house show feud. Never really came to any pay per view or whatnot. But this match was pretty good. I like how Sherry tried to throw him the purse and he used it against Duggan. Unfortunately, that didn't work. However, they pulled a WrestleMania 5 in this one, and I thought that was funny. How Duggan brings Savage into the ring. Savage kind of falls down on him, and not only is he holding the rope, but Sherry is holding the leg. A little bit of Bobby Heenan ravishing Rick Rude
Mm-hmm.
going on there. So Savage remains the king of the ring, or just the king of the
King, yeah.
WWE. And so now he is really the number one contender. We'll get to that in a little bit. So our next match was I enjoyed this one, and I'm gonna say this real quick, man. I feel sorry. This past week we lost Lanny Poffo. He was 68 years old, man. Rest in peace, brother. I mean, between Savage and him, I liked Lanny. I liked the Genius. I thought they gave him a bad rap as far as his gimmicks go, but from what other interviews from wrestlers, he was a hell of a guy.
Yeah, so three out of four,
And
three out of the four guys in this match are dead.
I start doing that now, watching these pay per views and the Saturday Night Main Event for the review, and I'm going, okay, everybody in this match is gone.
Yeah, look at like Survivor Series teams. Like you have whole entire teams that are all gone. It's crazy.
It's sad. It makes me feel old.
Yeah.
My whole generation of what I grew up on and what you grew up in is almost gone.
Yeah.
But in any event, the next match was Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior versus Mr. Perfect and the
Yeah.
Genius.
This was huge as a kid because I mean,
Yes.
Warrior and Hogan on the same team. That's your dream to see something like that. You never thought that you would. Not that you never thought, but it was cool that it happened.
Imagine them as the tag champions.
Yeah, that would have been something. I mean,
They
they
never
should
would have
have
lost it.
they should have actually had them like challenge for the tag.
Like Savage and
champions.
Warrior did.
Yeah, because these guys had the belts on.
Yeah,
Hogan was a world champion.
and it
Right.
would have
World
been
IC
cool.
champion.
It would have been cool to add to the storyline that they go up against. At this point, it would have been Colossal Connection,
Yeah.
which would have been a great match.
Mm-hmm.
I think one more time, Hogan and Andre got in the ring,
Yeah.
and their rivalry between each other overshadows the match, and they wind up losing the match.
Yeah,
I
they could have
thought
won
it
by
would be cool to
DQ
do
or something like that. Yeah, they could have been like a DQ finish or something like that. Would have been that visual would have been cool. But I remember the advertising this. I remember me and my brother talking like, oh my god, like Hogan and Warrior in the same team tonight. It's crazy. So to see it
against
actually,
Hogan finally can beat Perfect and the Genius. He's got somebody
mhm,
that can help him.
yeah. And then they showed what happened at the Royal Rumble and
Yeah, I
everything.
love how they put that in there, even though technically it didn't happen yet. When they did, that's why I like how they did this.
Yeah, they were able to edit it.
Mm-hmm.
I like how Jesse was like causing, trying to stir up stuff between Warrior and
Yep.
Hogan. They had that great backstage promo, but Jesse wasn't buying it, and Jesse was. And then when we know Warrior comes out first, and he's like, "Why is Warrior coming out first if they're a team?" No, yeah,
If
why
they're a
they come
team,
out
they should be
separate?
coming out together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So that
Well,
was great. That was great
he's
stuff.
right, but Hogan never came out with his tag partners. He always came out last.
Hmm.
And in this instance, I mean, it made sense. The IC champion comes out first.
Yeah,
The champions are coming out to their own entrance theme, and getting their own accolades. So it made sense not to come out together.
yeah.
And the
It's
fans,
common. That was common.
yeah, and the fans gave to me. I think got Warrior got more of a pop than Hogan did.
I don't know. I thought it was.
I just caught that a
Yeah, maybe I don't know.
little bit.
It was close.
But this match was pretty good. Genius wasn't able to pull any of his stuff, and Warrior and Hogan got along to at least get the victory. Now I love how Hogan had to tag himself in to get
Well,
the victory.
well, how about before that? Hogan was beat with the perfect plex, and then
Yeah,
Perfect for whatever reason just decides to,
he decides to
break it himself
break it. Yeah.
and tag in Lanny, and
Well,
then
because if as of right now, the perfect plex has been unbreakable. If you pin Hogan with it, that means then either two things have to happen. Either one, you're going to beat Hogan and Warrior, and their momentum going into WrestleMania is
mhm,
shot. Or two, Perfect's momentum with this move is gone because Hogan obviously has to break out of it.
he would have been the first person to,
So,
to pin Hogan on Saturday Night's Main Event.
yep. And nobody ever pinned Hogan
Yeah.
on Saturday Night Main Event.
So he broke it. Lanny comes in the ring. Hogan gets the best of him. Warrior then comes in the ring. Hogan tags Warrior in. Does the gorilla? I think he did the gorilla press, right? And then he did the shoulder block. Hogan, as he's running to the ropes, Hogan tags himself in.
Naturally.
Does the leg drop the wrong way?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
Yeah.
idiot. But then after the match, they start with the beatdown. So now Warrior clotheslines Perfect. Warrior clotheslines Genius. Why Hogan put his hands on him?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Why did he like grab him
Warrior
like that?
clotheslines
Yeah, by accident.
Hogan, and now all of a sudden he's smacking him around to see if he's okay. And
Yeah.
now they're gonna push each other and get up in each other's face. So now so something's going down between these
Hmm.
two. What we're about to experience come April. So this Rumble was technically the start of it, but this was now the build up.
Yeah, they continue to set
Obviously,
up.
if you're gonna, because you never put these two together before, so obviously they're going to do a program with them if you're going to put them together now.
Yeah.
But this was the best match of the night.
Yeah, it was great. That was good stuff.
So our next match was Jake the Snake Roberts versus Greg the Hammer Valentine, and Jake had recently absconded with the $1 million belt. He had stolen it from them, and Damien was holding it nice and secure.
Yeah.
Which I thought was cool. And pretty soon we're going to have the program where Big Boss Man was hired to get it, and then he's going to turn because there's no money involved. He's just the hired help, and then he'll turn babyface here soon, momentarily with it. But DiBiase and Virgil did try to come down to get back what was theirs. Unfortunately, it did not work. Jake won by disqualification on this match. I thought it was an okay match between the two. Everybody wanted Jake to do the DDT. He was definitely over at this point, with the fans. And again, like I said, they didn't. Unfortunately, DiBiase and Virgil did not get the $1 million belt, despite Jake pretty much showing them where here it is, come and get it. So, in any event, our next match was another good one. It was Dusty Rhodes versus Ravishing Rick Rude. And what I thought was funny in this one is both managers, eventually, a couple of minutes into the match, both managers were thrown out.
Yeah, Heenan and Sapphire, right?
And what's funny is Sapphire comes back with a ticket.
Yeah.
I can sit front row and watch my man. I thought that was cool.
She pulled man, who was it?
Kevin Nash?
No. It was one of the Mets managers. Was it Bobby?
Oh, Bobby Valentine.
Was it Bobby Valentine when he dressed up when he got kicked out of the game?
He put the hat and the mustache
came
on,
back.
the idiot.
Yeah. That was great. That was great, man. That
Look,
was classic.
I'm a diehard Met fan, and even I thought that was an embarrassment moment. And I'm like,
But it was
Bobby,
funny though. It was
it
funny.
is, it is,
It
and
was funny.
and he actually thinks that the umpire
Right,
doesn't
right,
know it's him. It's good old Bobby, I mean, I
right.
swear. This was a pretty good match between the two. They don't have a feud against each other, so it was pretty cool just to see them going one on one with
Mm-hmm.
each other. Obviously, Dusty's fixing to get into a work with Randy Savage. Ravishing Rick Rude really doesn't have a feud right now because he goes to WrestleMania to face Jimmy Snuka for no reason. I
Mm-hmm.
thought he should have still been in the feud with Roddy Piper,
Yeah, they should have definitely done something like that.
and that match should have been at WrestleMania instead of what they had. But we've gone down that road before. This match was pretty good. It was a double count out on the two, and I love how Ventura's like, well, obviously they've been counted out. They've been out there longer than allotted, and you really don't hear the bell ring. Only Dusty's music hits. But obviously, everybody's figured out, okay, they've been counted out because they're down the ramp and whatnot. And so, I mean, otherwise, it wasn't a bad match. It was fairly decent. The main event was to me was a squash, and this was Rugged Ronnie Garvin versus Dino Bravo, and this was a 3 minute. I'm going to embarrass you, and then you're out of here.
Well, they had the promo before that
The
with
main event.
with the Canadian earthquake,
Oh yeah.
Dino Bravo and Jimmy Hart.
I never understood why they call him the Canadian earthquake to start.
Well,
I
it
don't
was from
know.
Canada.
Yeah, it's still the earthquake.
They dropped it though. I mean,
Yeah, eventually, yeah. I think they dropped it before WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they do the promo with them. Bravo's looking great. That's what steroids will do for you, even though he claims he didn't. They also mentioned in this the bench press record, the alleged record. Vince McMahon said, "Yeah, it was alleged. You had your hand on it." And Ventura's like, "Don't you start throwing that
Earthquake,
stuff out there."
Earthquake and Bravo did that too.
Yeah, I know. Bravo was on his own doing. Earthquake, unfortunately, I believe he had a heart attack or something.
Yeah.
I don't remember. But yeah, I'm telling you, every time I watch these things now, it's like, okay, either they're tapping 80 years old or they're out or they're gone. I mean, it's sad. And the fact that I just watched the NXT event last night and I saw what Shawn Michaels looked like, I'm starting to get real sad about that. I mean, I grew up on these guys, and now, I mean, it is what it is. Anyway, we're getting off track. Bravo got the victory against Garvin. This is pretty much, I think, believe Garvin's gone just about after this.
And then he got destroyed by the earthquake. The earthquake sat on him.
Yeah, and Garvin did one good thing on that. He sold it really well.
He did. No, he did really sell it.
Unless Earthquake actually messed up and
no,
I
think I'm pretty sure.
But Garvin really sold it as far as not being able to breathe. Real quick on Earthquake, the one guy that Earthquake actually did it to, and the only person to actually get up after he got it done to him, besides Hogan doing the immortal nonsense, was Hercules. Because remember at WrestleMania, he got hit with it not once but twice, but was still able to get up even after the match. Where most guys are stretchered.
I wonder if Warrior got up. I don't remember. I know they fought. I'm not sure if Warrior got up or not. He had to have gotten up at a house.
I'm sure he did. I'm sure he did. Well, if anybody when you're watching this remembers this, and I'm sure a few people do, let us know.
Yeah.
Now, the one thing I enjoyed on this thing was they advertised main event number 3 coming up in February, where they would have the special guest referee Iron Mike Tyson, the world heavyweight champion. Unfortunately, when we get to February, that's not going to be the case because he's no longer going to be the heavyweight champion. It's going to be Buster Douglas, unfortunately. How he lost that fight still to this day, I have no idea. But I love how both guys are cutting the promo, Savage and Hogan. And Hogan's like, this is it. This is the final time. Meanwhile, dude, you haven't had a one-on-one pay-per-view match with him technically since WrestleMania 5. So you fought him in tag team matches and a few house shows. You haven't really done much with him. So saying it's going to be the final time is ridiculous. But I love how Savage is if Tyson don't call it down the middle, then he's going to have to deal with the Macho Man. The only guy that I really wanted to see Tyson get in the ring with all these promos was Austin. That was it.
I mean, it's many years later, but yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, in this thing, I couldn't see Savage going toe to toe with Tyson. But Hogan
that was
same thing.
I mean, that was great though. The idea of getting Hogan, the biggest name in wrestling and a pop culture icon, with Mike Tyson at that point was like one of the most famous athletes in the world, and
it would have been cool if it was a pay-per-view, not just a main event.
Yeah, It was just a timing thing. I think that's when he was available. So it gets tricky, because he's got a box, he's got to train. It
Yeah, because
was right
between
after. That was supposed
this
to be
and
right.
main event, he had the title fight.
Yeah. And Ventura was saying how he might have to teach Tyson a lesson or whatever. I mean,
He
I'm
had
paraphrasing here.
how to go to referee school.
Yeah. So it
Yeah,
was
because
cool
Ventura
that
is so good at it. Yeah.
it was cool that it was going to happen. But then, of course, we know what happened. Tyson gets knocked out, and then they ended up replacing him with Buster Douglas, and we'll review that
Oh my
the
God, that
next
was a
the next main event review.
sad day in
But
boxing, boy.
yeah, we'll get more into it in the
Yeah,
next one. But
but
overall, this is
this
pretty
was
good.
yeah, it was a good build up to the main event between these two guys coming down to the wire. Their final meeting, bury this feud, moving on through 1990. Um, the match card itself, like I said, hands down was Hogan and Warrior to me was the best match of the night. And I like when Warrior got his little clothesline in on Hogan. That
Hmm.
I was like, yeah,
Yeah,
do it again.
yeah, it was good
So
stuff.
overall, pretty good.
Yeah. All right, well, that's our review. Please make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. We'll see you guys soon.
Take care.